it going? Rick T, Outdoor Adventure, and Billydog. Here he is, the main man. How's it going? Good to see you again anyway. So you just see me setting up my tarp. So we've got quite a cold, it's not cold by any means, it's not proper winter yet, but we've got a breeze coming in, a strong breeze across this way. This is my usual camp. You'll have seen me camp here many times. We're doing something different this time though, but I've set my tarp up to give myself a little bit of cover, to give myself a bit of protection from the back, because that wind's coming in that way. So we've closed that back end, so 3x3 tape, yeah, closed back end, so it's going to be a lot of nice and warm in there. It's going to cut out that wind. We've got that protection. What I think I'm going to do, now I've pegged it out, I'm going to modify it slightly. Yeah, now I know I've got it sort of solid, I'm going to lift this front end, so I'm going to have a fire at the front here, so that'll be nice and snug. I'll be able to sit in my pit tonight in the day, chilling out. Look, Billy's in his shelter already. He absolutely loves it. Look at him, good lad. Hey, good boy, ain't you? Hey, he's not daft, is he? Hey, you know the score, don't you, pal? You know the score, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Don't you know the score, don't you? Hey, good boy. That's us pretty much set up for night. Billy's got his bed, he's got his sheepskin over there. It's always a bit of a lump to carry in, but it's worth it for Billy. Got to keep him warm, haven't you? So he's got his sheepskin for night. He'll have a mat underneath him. I'm going to use it for a seat until it's bedtime, and then he'll have his mat. I've got my kit out, my bag's unravelled. I don't like to get it out of its compression sack and just leave it out for night, because it's only 10 to 5 now, so sometimes it gets a bit damp during night, doesn't it, and what have you. So if you leave it out, it can get a bit of dew on it, if you will, and get a bit damp. So I like to get it out the stuff sack, but shove it in like a 20 odd litre dry bag and just leave it so it's unravelled. It's still getting a bit of air, but it's dry. My mat's there, everything else, so we're kitted out, loads of protection. I've got my head torch on the front of the tarp ready for when it goes dark. I've got my rucksack there with my food in. So it's time to build a fire pit now. So I'm going to do that quite close to the edge of this. We've got the wind blowing this way, so it's going to blow that smoke away. Yeah, I've got it on a nice angle, so it's not directly behind it, so it's not going to come over and then create an eddy and pull the smoke back in. It's on a slight angle, so it's going to whisk that smoke away and any sparks. So this tarp's going to be alright. And I'm not going to go too close to it, about a metre. So, but nice little fire down here. We don't need out massive. Something to cook on, something to give us a bit of light, something for us to chill round the fire tonight. And then I'll tell you about our project on this little bushcraft mission. So we're out here, got 2 days worth of food, got Billydog. We're going to enjoy the woods, and I'll tell you what we're going to do in a bit. So the fire's going 18:05, so just past 6. We're going dark it next half hour or so. So we'll get a brew on first, and then we'll cook a bit of scran up. But the plan is for this trip, I'm going to have a fantastic night in woods with Billy tonight. I'm going to chill out round fire, I'm going to make a couple of brews, I'm going to cook a bit of good scran. Billy's going to have his tea as well, and we'll go for a mooch later on at dark, and we're going to have a top night tonight. And then tomorrow we're going to make a Rambo style trap. So it's not, it could be used for, it could be used for self-protection. You know, if you were in a camp and you wanted to protect yourself from humans, there's no doubt about it, in like an apocalypse or something like that. But it could be used for wild boar, it could be used for deer, it could be used for big game. Yep. And so we're going to set that up tomorrow. We're going to build that. That's going to be our bushcraft for this trip. So I like building traps and stuff. I mean, we're always going to take them down, when, especially something like, well, any trap. We're never going to leave them up, and unless it's a survival situation. And this sort of trap you never leave it up for any length of time, because it's a killer of a trap, you know. And I've got Billy with me, you know what I mean. He's running round and what have you, so Billy will be tied up once we make this trap live and what have you. But that's going to be our bushcraft, you know. And then we're going to do some. I've got some of my books with me. It's always good to have you. I've got a journal with me and a couple of books, you know, on plant ID and tree ID and stuff like that. So we'll be out doing a bit of that as well. And I'll be making a note when we build this trap how it's gone. I've built similar ones in the past before, same sort of trigger mechanisms, but more coming down. This one's going to be one that comes in, so you set it to the height of your prey. But we'll look at that tomorrow. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic. It's absolutely lovely. You know, this fire is going to be appreciated tonight when it starts getting a bit colder. Like I say, it's not winter by any means, but yeah, but it's a little bit fresher, so it's beautiful. Brilliant. So I've not made as many films lately, so not because I've not been out, because I've been out every weekend. I've done a canoe trip to Ullswater, catching brown trout, and a bivvy camp under canoe on that trip. I was in here at this spot a few weeks back doing a similar camp to this, but more just a chilled out one with Billy, just a nice chilled out night with Billy. You know, I worked last weekend on a 2-day survival course for Green Man Survival up in Lake District. So I've been out every week, but it's like a month since I made a film. Last film was when we did the Tay descent in the canoes. But I've got over 300 films out there, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be repeating the same films for you and for me. You know, so my canoe trip last weekend, you know, I've filmed Ullswater a few times and caught similar trout and camped in the same sort of spot, maybe, you know, same sort of camp setup as well, bivvying under canoe, you know. So there's no point keep just regurgitating the same stuff. I want to do different stuff, and no doubt you want to see different stuff. And if you want to see them other things, you can look back at them other 300 films, can't you? You know, I don't want to get stuck in a where I'm just repeating the same stuff just for the sake of getting a film out. It seems a bit crazy, doesn't it? So I'll just film the different type of stuff, you know what I mean? But stick with it, because it's going to be great, this, and it's just fantastic to be out here. And we'll get a few shots around fire and everything else, and yeah. Well, yeah, cheers for tuning in anyway. I'll catch you in a little bit. Good to have a bit of a journal to I brought the wrong pen though. I picked up a blooming marker pen that I've been marking all my work kit with instead of my main pen, so it's not as easy to draw, but yeah, but it's good to have the option, you know, and make a note of all the things that you do and that you try. You know, I've got all sorts of different bits of kit in here that I've played with. You know, I've got several of these. Bit of stuff from trips, and like I say, all sorts of different traps and different types, setups, bits of fishing rigs, stuff that I've been trying and stuff that I've been doing, ideas that I've had, yeah, all sorts of stuff, you know. And it's you know, I even list the kit I'm taking with me sometimes. I'll write down what I need to take and then tick it off as I go. But I've got several of these, and yeah, I like them. They're good to read back through, you know, a year or two down the line, even bloody 7, 8, 10 years. Just read back at what you've done and what have you, and it reminds you of stuff as well. So yeah, I always like to have my journal. You know, it's nice when you're on your own as well, just me and Billy chilling out, and bit of time drawing in that and making things, you know, ideas and what have you. Yeah, it's mint. First brew at day. What a great night that was under chart. I'm like, it's fresh today. That wind makes a massive difference, but closing off the back end of that chart, honestly, it was snug as a bug in a rug in there. I only had my fleece on all night, jackets on this morning because it is colder, but I was warm as toast in there. I was just right in sleeping bag, just with t-shirts on, a pair of wool socks, boxer shorts, but the amount of the difference it made cutting off that back end, yeah, spot on. Fantastic 3x3 tapes, yeah, can't go wrong with them. Great, loads of protection. Billy loves it in there. He's back in there now. He's got up once or twice during the night, had a bit of a potter about. He's back in there now, so let's get a brew on anyway. First brew at day. Right, second brew done, breakfast done. Time to do a bit of bushcraft. Leave that up there, not need that for a bit. Let's go and do some bushcraft. So my man trap, my big mammal trap or whatever, my trap for the apocalypse, it didn't come to fruition. So, but it's not wasted time, yeah? That time trying, my idea didn't quite pan out the way I wanted it to. It's going to need a little bit more finesse. So video wise today, I'm going to scrap that idea and we're going to knock up a couple of snares, couple of standard snares. My apocalypse trap will have to wait till next time, but like I say, it's not wasted time. I've got something out of it. It's been valuable time spent in the woods, training, practicing skills, getting to know what works and what doesn't work. Those little details that make a difference, so when I need to do it, it's going to be slick. So back to the drawing board with that one. I'll get it dialed in, bit of practice, we'll get it dialed in, we'll make a video in a few weeks and get it bang on, yeah? So today, snares. So a quick couple of snares that you can use with paracord. Everybody has some paracord on them. If you're an outdoorsman, genuinely, you'll have some in your everyday carry, or your cami jacket, or the top of your rucksack. You'll have your guy lines, your ridge line, you've got shoelaces, you've got cord in your hoodies, in your bottom of your draw cord in the bottom of your jacket. You've generally got some paracord on you if you've not got snare wire. So we can do a couple of traps, but there's some quite little details that make them a lot better than just a bog standard one. So we'll look at them, we'll rattle up a couple of snares while we're in here today, yeah, and yeah, let's get on with it, let's smash them off. So first job, a standard snare, yeah, come here Billy, that's it way. We're going to imagine, yeah, we've got a run down here. This is a rabbit run, yeah. Ideally, practice on real runs. Find them. Rabbits are a piece of cake to find. Yeah, if you can see rabbits knocking about, you can find the runs. They're distinctive. They're easy to spot. Practice on them, then take them down afterwards. These primitive traps, yeah. But practice setting them up. So we're going to, in this spot, I'm going to imagine I've got a run here. If I had a tree, a sapling or something like that next to the trail, which usually quite often you have, but not always, I'm going to use that as my solid stake. That's my bit that's going to hold the game when it's caught. I haven't got a tree here, so I've knocked a stake in the ground, yeah? So we've got a stake wedged in the ground, wellied in. It's wellied in quite a long way here because this is soft ground. Last thing you want to do is catch something and then it manages to pull out and shoot off. Yeah, and it's suffering, yeah. So we've got a solid piece in here, which is going to be my stake. Bit of paracord, hank of paracord. Should always have a hank of paracord with you. And I'm going to show you a knot, if you don't know it, the poacher's knot, which is the best knot for snares, yeah. So what you could do, and what a lot of people could do if they couldn't imagine the poacher's knot, just do an overhand knot Yep, as small as you can get it. Yep, so they've got a tiny little overhand knot like that. Shove the other end in through there, and you've got a noose, haven't you? Yep, so straight away you've got a noose. But the problem is with that, as you can see, it'll open and shut. Yep, so potentially your game can wriggle out. Yep, so we want a knot that's going to tighten down on this. So the poacher's knot, dead easy to tie, takes a bit of practice, but when you get your eye in with it, it's a piece of cake. Right, so poacher's knot wise, yep, give yourself a nice loop, a nice big loop. Yep, then all we're going to do, yep, I'm going to come up here, put my finger here, and I'm going to cross over my finger. Yep, and then I'm going to work my way back up the knot. 1, 2, I'm going to go 3 times over, or twice, so do it. Yep, see how I've gone over there twice. And then this bit, it's now going to come back down underneath these, through them top 2, and through this bottom one like that. Yep, and when I tighten that down, there. So now what we've got a knot that tightens down but locks up. Yep, that locks up and then pulls away. So it locks up. So I can't open that with my fingers unless I pull the knot away. So now I've got this knot that locks up. Yep, but still that's not going to be my noose. We're not going to get the rabbit in there and then rig, because that's quite hard to tighten up on that. Yep, so that's not going to be my noose. What my noose is going to be, see, it locks up well, that. So what my noose is going to be, I'm going to pull that down. Yep, so I've got a small hole, and then the other end of my paracord is going to go through that. So this makes the noose. Yep, so that's my noose. That's my noose. I'm going to nip that down a little bit so it just starts to bite a little bit there. So then that knot, when you get an animal in your noose, and that knot will then tighten down and lock itself. Yep, so it locks against it. I'll open that up a little bit there. So that is your noose. Right, let's set this up. Dead simple. This is my game trail coming through here. Yep, I'm going to clove hitch off my post. Yep, get that other cordage out of the way. Yep, so I'm fastened on here. Oh, I'm rock solid on there. Yep, bomb solid. So now I want to set my noose up. I want to set it about 4 fingers off the ground and about a fist diameter. Yep, I don't want it too big. I don't want to catch something round its nose. I don't want to catch it round its legs. So I want it to be about the right size. It's always a little bit of a guessing game. Yep, so I'm going to go about there. Yep, now I just want to hold that up. So I don't need anything fancy, just something dead simple just to hold that up out of the way. So if I scrat around on ground, let's have a look. Yeah, we'll use this. Yep, let's have a butcher's. Like I say, 4 inch off the ground. Yep, so about 4 inch off the ground, that's something like it. Yep, and then I want another one of these little pieces to hold that on that side. Let's try this piece. So there, we're set. That's about right, about 4 inch, well not 4 inch, 4 fingers off the ground, about a fist size. So what I do, either side here now, I'd want to build a funnel to funnel the animal. I don't want to give it a chance to go over here. I don't want to give it a chance to go over here. So what I'd do, I'd build a fence either side. Yep, build a fence. I could stick posts in, sticks in, and build a fence. I could just get loads and loads of bracken and rubbish and build this fence up all round it, so I'm driving it into the centre. Yep, comes down, boom, gets through here, boom, locks up. Oh, you've got it, bang. It's not going anywhere. Locked nice and tight. Dead simple, dead easy. Bit of paracord. That took me 5 minutes, that. Yeah, probably less than that if I'm doing it on my own, not chatting about it. Yeah, dead quick, dead easy. Bang 20 of them up all around your camp. Like I say, tightens up really nice, that. Dead easy to reset, dead easy to put back in the game. Yeah, give yourself a chance for some breakfast, some food in a survival situation. Yeah, not one of them you just go out willy-nilly catching stuff and but survival situation, bing bang bosh, get a load of them set up. Next one, we're going to add a dynamic aspect to it. We're going to lift the prey off the ground, so we're going to give it an engine. Now that engine could be a springly sapling, a springy tree, you know, something with a bit of power. It could be a bit of paracord thrown over a high up branch with a rock suspended on it for the weight. But we're going to give it that engine that's going to lift it, so the rabbit triggers it, gets lifted up off the ground. The benefits are, it's going to finish that animal quicker. Yep. It's also going to lift it up, like I say, away from any other prey. So if you've got foxes and stuff like that are walking around, taking everything out of your traps, yep, you don't want to. If your traps worked, you know what I mean? Bang, you want to have that meal, don't you? You don't want to waste it. You don't want to give it to something else. Easy prey for foxes and other predators like that are scavenging and looking about. So get it up off the ground, out of the way. You've got a chance of it still being there in the morning or in the evening. Check your traps twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Reset if need to. Take your animals, process them, etc. Get yourself a full belly, or at least a bit of scran in your belly. Survival situations. Right, so with this one, we need to make some sort of trigger system. Dead simple trigger system. Number 7 notch. Great notch. Useful for all sorts of applications. Fantastic for trapping. Yeah, dead simple. Dead simple. I'll show you this one now. Yeah, I'm going to make one on a stake. So I want a point on this end-ish. This ground's soft, so it doesn't have to be too big a point. Yeah, that's going to do me. It's going to drive itself into the ground. And then I want a notch on the top of this. Yep, you could use a saw to cut down. Yep, all I'm going to do, I'm just going to wangle my blade in like this. And then we're just going to cut those bits out. Yeah, just push with your thumb. What I don't want to do is push and whip the end off. Yeah, just want to be nice and gentle with my thumb. And make this nice number 7 notch. And I'm going to need 2 of these. I'm going to need one of these on a stake on the ground, and one for the other side of my trigger mechanism. Yeah, just push with your thumb like that, dead easy. Yeah, just nice. And then what I'm going to do, ultimately, I'm going to chamfer this top edge. That's going to be cut on a chamfer there, but I'm not going to do that until I've knocked it in the ground. There we are, dead quick, dead easy, number 7 notch. Point on this end. Yep, leave this initial one long. A lot of people make the mistake of making this short, and then the power of the engine pulls it out of the ground. So I want this piece to be long. So we're going to imagine there's a game trail through here. There is in fact a game trail through here. It's not a rabbit one though, it's a deer one. But I'm going to use this game trail, imagining it's small game like a rabbit. You could use traps similar to this. You put a foot trap for deer, etc. for big mammals. You can change it into a foot trap dead easy. I'll show you that some other time. But we're going to go for a simple snare here using an engine. So I've got a little bit of sycamore here. It's a great bendy branch, so I'm going to use this to make it go faster into the air. I'm going to make it more aerodynamic. So I'm going to take some of them little side branches off with the leaves on. Yep, alright, there's millions of sycamore in here, so we're not doing any harm. I'll take a few of them side branches off, it'll just make it whip up into the air faster. So with this trap I'm using the exact same cordage, same one we just set up from that. So I've got that same loop on the end. Yep, so that's my loop, fist sort of size. Yep, got my loop there. All I'm going to do is I'm going to come away about 7 inches, 8 inches. I'm going to put a clove hitch in. Yeah. I'm going to fasten my first number 7 notch and toggle on. Clove hitched on there. So this is my second, well this is my second one. My first one's going to go in ground that I made. This is my second one. Yeah, this is going to go up to the engine. Got my noose on the bottom there, my snare. Yeah, the plan is that one is going to hook into this one there. Can you see how it's only just in? I mean, that might be alright because it'd be sensitive, but I'm probably going to take the top off that a little bit so it sits a bit snugger once I get it in the ground. So we've got that set up. Yep, we're alright there. Next bit is to find something in line with my engine. I'm going to knock this in. Like I say, this wants to go in plenty, especially if you've got a powerful engine. There, get that in like that. I'm just going to take a little bit off the top of here. Hey Billy, you're alright big lad, you're a good boy aren't you? I know, we'll go for a walk soon. Good lad, good lad. Next bit, the engine, that's this bit. Now just be careful you don't whip yourself in the face doing this. The toggle's going to go in there. Right, mine out Billy lad, good boy. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to tie this on here. I always tie a knot that I can release. What you don't want to do in a survival situation is be wasting paracord. You want to be able to keep using it all the time, so cut it as less as possible, yeah? You don't want to be cutting it willy-nilly, only cut it if you have to cut it. Exact same scenario here. Say this is where run. Yeah, we've got a run there. I want my noose to be set up here. Couple of these in. Couple of them in there. Like that. Set it up, got 4 fingers, about a fist thick. Yeah. Yeah. There we are. A little tiller sticks holding it up. Number 7. Yeah. Up there to the engine, which then going to go straight up there. So again, this time we've got the engine, we've got power, so same script. Rabbit comes through here. This is all fenced off here, so it can't go any other way, it can't go left, can't go right. It's all boxed in, funneling the animal in, so it's going to take the easy route, which is down the centre. Yep, through there, gets its head stuck, carries on, gets caught, boom! It's up in the air. Now that is some power, that'd whip it straight up into Yeah, we'd have it up a decent height with that. In fact, that's hurting my arm, it's that strong. From the other angle, comes in, runs through there, boom, off it goes. Yeah, that one's not tightened down quite as much. Oh, bloody hell. Tightened down then. Yeah, good bit of kit. And a great option. Yeah. Better than your standard snare, but if you're not got a load, you can do these without them being out coming from trees. You can just have a big, take it to a place where there's no trees next to it, and you can have a big spring and just whack it into the ground, bury it in the ground, put a load of sticks around it to support it, give it that extra structure in the ground, and use it that way. Yeah, you can make 6 saws. There's loads of different methods to make engines. We'll look at some others sometime. Well, from Rick T, Outdoor Adventure, and Billydog, we've had a top trip. Didn't work out exactly as we wanted. We had other plans, but you've just got to blooming rock on, haven't you? And if something don't work, you move on to the next thing or whatever. It's all good training, all good practice. So I don't feel disappointed that my plan didn't work for that. It'll work next time. I'll spend a bit more time on it next time and suss it out proper, you know. It was just a number of things, you know, the ground conditions, etc. What were available. Billy's digging a big hole next to my tripod, but yeah, so it needs fine tuning, that idea, but I'll get it to work, you know, and that's what it's all about. It's about getting out and practicing in it and training and finding out what works and what doesn't work. But them snares, bomber. I've made them for a long time and they're absolute bomber. They work and easy to make. Bit of paracord, that's all you need. Bit of paracord and you're laughing. But we've cleared up, no trace. This is an area that I use quite regularly. It's a quiet spot. I rarely see anyone in here, so I like to leave it spotless because I don't want to attract anyone. So I definitely don't leave a fire pit. No sign of any fire. Obviously, if you're used to walking in the woodland, you can see that something or someone has been in this area. The ground's all ruffled up or whatever. So if you knew what you were doing, you'd know, and you looked about, you'd be able to find signs and you'd know people, I'm here, you know. But as a rule, most people are going to walk past. So if you look down here, like I say, no sign. That's where my fire was. Get rid of them last couple of bits of embers. Well, not embers, bits of coals. Spread them about. So that's it. We're loaded up and we're on our way out of here. But yeah, beautiful forest today. The fresh wind, but it's absolutely stunning. Well, yeah, thanks for joining me as always. I hope you enjoyed that film. For some reason, Billy's humping my leg. I hope you enjoyed that film. I love being out here again. Absolutely, can't get enough, can we? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back again in a few weeks with another film. But till then, we'll catch you again. Have a top time. Look after yourselves. Alright. Ta-da. Hey.